What have we here at Great Millstone been telling you? I want to start off with all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is another lesson of news and prophecy. And I want to play this quick clip. We can get right into some scriptures.
We gonna do this shit trying to get it.
There's a natural overlap between body hackers and the blockchain movement. And here at Body Hacks 2019, a 2-day conference in Austin, Texas, I'm planning on joining these couple hundred people who can officially call themselves cyborgs by getting something implanted too. So I've just watched a bunch of videos about getting implants, namely the magnets under the fingers, and they use a scalpel, and there's a lot of blood, so that was a little bit much. For me, though, it'll be much less gruesome. I'm just getting an NFC-enabled microchip implant. It's housed in glass, about the size of a grain of rice, and so it fits inside a hollow 14-gauge needle. The needle goes in, the implant gets pumped out, the needle comes back out. It hurts about as much as giving blood or getting a piercing, and it gets injected most often between the thumb and index finger. And it's secured by this blockchain. That's the implanter's joke. Some attendees had programmed their chips to open RFID safes and doors, unlock their phones, and send their contact information to other phones, and some had even hacked their way into creating an authorization for accessing their Bitcoin holdings. That last use case, that's what I'm looking for. So on the last day of the conference, I sat down and a minute later excitedly exclaimed, "I'm a cyborg."
Thank you for your cooperation.
The implant I got, the VivoKey Spark, currently allows users to send an NFC-enabled phone to their profile page or to whatever website they choose. For the test, and to shamelessly promote my content, I set the implant to send a phone to the Bitcoin at 10 website. Oh, shit. It did in fact take me to Bitcoin at 10.
Can I try?
Yes. Now we'll try with another person's phone.
Wow.
Cool, huh? Next, I set it to take my phone to my Receive Bitcoin QR code, making it easy for people out and about to scan that code and tip me some crypto.
$2?
I guess. That's all you're willing to give me, cheapskate. And in a week or so, VivoKey will be launching a new API that will allow users to program the chip to act as an authenticator key. With this, I should be able to request that every time I want to send or transfer Bitcoin out of an open source wallet, it'll ask me to scan the chip to validate that transaction. And that way, the chip will act as a unique security measure that might make my hand as valuable as Clean Eyes in Minority Report.
But seriously, don't take my hand. I don't have that much crypto.
You see? So, as things are being pushed, this is going to be the move. This is going to be the new wave. All right, the new way, the new smarter way, all right, where things can be done to your convenience. All right. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 13. And we're going to start at verse 16. And it reads, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." And as we're going into a digital world, right, because this cash that we use today is not worth anything. And not only is it not worth anything, but you have the other nations backing out of the dollar. But you have a thing where the elites are pushing this narrative that the money that we carry today is also a part of the reason why the virus continues to spread. You see, so before the virus actually hit, people were less, or people were using money less, or using cash less. But now the number has greater risen since the pandemic. Since that narrative is being pushed, the money is filthy. The money carries the virus on it as well. So people are like, nah, I don't want to touch no cash. That money's filthy. I'm just going to stick to using my credit card, debit card, Google Pay, Apple Pay, or whatever app is usable to purchase and buy things. So what is being normalized here of not actual using cash? And the way the elites got it, it's working perfectly. Because it's not going to be something where someone says, getting a chip implanted in them will be a strange thing. Especially when they use it as a format as, like I said, convenience. It's a way where you don't have to look for your car keys, take your wallet out with you, and have a chance of losing it, or someone jacking you for it. You can just simply get the chip, right? Or you don't want to lose your work fob to have access to get into work. Just have the chip in you, and everything is good. You don't have to remember anything. It's with you all the time. And when you think about people today, we live in a microwave. There's a microwave mentality going on where everything has to be done fast, has to be done now at a fast pace. Things, you want to have things at your expense within a blink of an eye. And they're going to show you about a way of having this chip. There's going to be a way of doing that, right? Not having to go through the long process of things. You see it, well, let's say if you go to like a movie theater or amusement park, something to that effect, and they say, well, it'd be easier for you to do everything online before you come. Or you have the app or something where you can just walk past and scan it instead of waiting online and purchasing the tickets and doing this and that. They say, well, next time, for future reference, it's easy. It'll be easier for you to do it this way so you can just skip the line or not have to take all this time where we have to go through this whole process until they actually flip over to that way, Like I said before, a few years back, I was sent a letter in the mail and it said, you got 30 days to activate this card because your next card will be deactivated. The one they was going to deactivate is the one without the chip. The one that needed to be activated within 30 days to have access to my money, to that bank, as far as the way of my debit card and credit card, was the use through that chip only. Right now, you can still go to the bank and get cash, but it was not my convenience to do that because a lot of things that you may make purchases online and this or that when you're out and about, and you don't have to go carry the cash, you use what? You use your card. So, point that I'm making is the transition is coming. The transition is coming of not only for this cash to be done away with, but to digitalize everything, which that's further just leading to what? The mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. Now, got an article show you, because this is not only the U.S. that's doing this. The other nations is riding the wave as well. This is from CNBC. China plans to hand out 1.5 million in digital currency test during the Lunar New Year. Right? The key points. China's capital city will hand out about 1.5 million in a limited trial to the central bank's digital currency. The municipal government announced over the weekend the total of 10 million yuan or won will be distributed through about 50,000 packets of 200 won, or about $30 each. This marks the third major test of the digital currency under development by the People's Bank of China. You see? But it's a test. Why? Because if this test is passed, then what happens? Then this is going to be the new way. This is going to be the new standard. You see? Like it says right here, going no further, it says Beijing, China's capital city, will hand out about 1.5 million in a limited trial of the central bank's digital currency, the municipal government announced over the weekend. That marks the third major test of the digital currency under development by the People's Bank of China. The cities of Shenzhen and Suzhou held similar experiments in the last few months. In this trial, Beijing said it will select 50,000 from a pool of applicants to receive 200 won, or about $30 each in the digital currency. Recipients can spend the money at designated offline locations or on parts of e-commerce site JD.com during the upcoming Lunar New Year holiday. The vouchers are valid from February 10th to the 17th. Digital currency tests only open to those with Chinese ID number or residence permit from Hong Kong, Macau, or Taiwan. The People's Bank of China has been developing a digital currency that is expected to work in a similar way to transactions through existing payment apps. Like I said, you got mobile pay primarily through the Alibaba affiliated Alipay app, and Tencent WeChat Pay has replaced cash in the last several years as a predominant form of consumer payment in China. And the same thing is here going on in the US by the way of Apple Pay, Google Pay, and the rest of these different apps that are used to do these different transactions. You know, but everything is leading to what? Ultimately to be that form of payment to be used through will be the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. Okay, the chip. You have the NFC chip as well. I believe that one is in Europe, but the chip is what is going to be pushed. Shalom.